In Schofield versus Gillard, the accuser lied, conjured up a claim of action against me. Just like Socrates didn't stop, just like Jesus didn't stop, I'm a genius, a God on earth, and I'm not going to stop.
Let's talk about the TikToker who just won't say no. Remember that old song? I'm just a girl who can't say no. That's what this case reminds me of. There's a new 61-page filing in the case of Ashley Gilliard against Rebecca Schofield. You might remember Ashley for all of her wild assertions about Professor Rebecca Schofield allegedly being responsible for the Idaho 4 tragedy. Well, Ashley's back with a new filing, and it's even crazier. It's like she includes her fan fiction all in this 61-page document. I'm not going over the whole thing. I will spare you, but I will give you the highlights. It's out of this world. And then we'll look at Ashley's TikTok defense, the way she's still digging in her heels. She's claiming in a 12-part TikTok series, I'm not crazy, you're stupid. I guess the TikToker who is Ashley believes that all of us warning her to stop before she loses big time, Ashley believes we're all stupid.
I'm not crazy, you're stupid.
So it was May 16th, 2023, when Ashley filed this answer or counterclaim to all of the many documents that have been going on thus far in the case. After we go over these highlights, we're going to take a look at Ashley's TikTok series, and somewhere in here I'm going to tell Ashley my own experience of when I received a cease and desist letter as a young woman from a famous person, and why I heeded that cease and desist, and why I think Ashley should too. I mean, it's too late for her to heed the cease and desist warnings that Ashley received from Professor Schofield when Ashley was making about 100 videos claiming Rebecca Schofield was somehow responsible for the Idaho 4 tragedy. Well, now, instead of apologizing, doing a big mea culpa, and averting a disaster in her own life, Ashley wrote, Rebecca Schofield planned, ordered, and executed the murder of the 4 University of Idaho students. This is what she wrote about 2 weeks ago. This was filed May 16th, 2023. Ashley doesn't seem to be learning anything from this legal process. I don't even know if she understands the seriousness of this lawsuit for defamation brought against her. Ashley wrote, since the accusations in Ashley's TikTok videos are substantially true, there is no actionable claim for defamation. So Ashley's still claiming she's telling the truth by accusing and implicating this innocent professor in the Idaho 4 killings without a shred of proof. Throughout these whole 61 pages, throughout all of her filings, and even in her TikTok videos, Ashley admits it was just some spirit or something who told her, gave her a clue that somehow it was a professor involved in the Idaho 4 crime. This first happened before we even knew who Bryan Kohberger was. But even after Bryan Kohberger has been arrested and charged with the crimes, and the Moscow Police Department has expressly and specifically cleared Rebecca Schofield, I guess that doesn't mean anything but a hill of beans to Ashley, because she is still doubling down on these horrible claims against the professor. Ashley wrote that Rebecca's claims are barred by fraud because they're false, perjurious, frivolous, claimed with malice, to get away with unethical conduct, adultery, and murder. Ashley never offers any proof that I've seen anywhere, because I don't believe it exists, for these allegations. She lobbies not only against Rebecca Schofield, you're going to see how she's defaming Kaylee Gonzalez, a murder victim, by claiming Kaylee had some type of relationship with Rebecca. The liaison broke off and somehow Rebecca was stalking Kaylee, and that's why Kaylee was the target, and she's going to talk about Kaylee showing off her new car and all this stuff. It's actually pretty sad. Ashley even has the nerve to blame the professor for the allegations Ashley made against the professor. She starts off with very few facts. The only facts I can find in Ashley's filing is that on November 13th, 2022, 4 University of Idaho students, Ethan Chapin, Kaylee Gonzalez, Xana Kernodle, and Madison Mogan, were found brutally murdered in Moscow, Idaho. That's about the only fact that's there. Ashley goes on to say their tragic murders were the result of a plan initiated and executed by Rebecca Schofield. Under her factual allegations, Ashley claims to execute the plan, Rebecca Schofield hired men to help her plan and carry out the murders. She promised them financial security and a better collegiate experience at the University of Idaho in exchange. Now, who are these men that Rebecca so-called hired? Who knows? Made up in Ashley's brain. Ashley continued her fan fiction. Rebecca Schofield's motive for conspiring to murder the 4 University of Idaho students was to keep her secret affair with Kaylee Gonzalez, who was a student at the time, from being exposed. Ashley talks about Rebecca's persuasive power and influence due to her prominence at the University of Idaho, Moscow, Idaho, and surrounding areas. She goes into Rebecca's PhD from Harvard University and what she calls an extreme level of ambition, as exhibited on her extensive 12-page resume on the University of Idaho's website, and her website, RebeccaSchofield.com, details some of the work she's done as a public figure and leader in Moscow, Idaho. Ashley sounds pretty envious of an accomplished woman, and maybe she mentioned RebeccaSchofield.com because Ashley's website isn't even working now. I think it's like Ashley is God or some crazy name like that. Ashley claims that Rebecca Schofield valued her career and prominence at the University of Idaho and surrounding areas. She was also married, and Kaylee Gonzalez was a popular student at the University of Idaho, and her popularity grew as her success grew. Ashley wrote, before her untimely death, her new career and Range Rover added to her popularity. So you can see what Ashley's doing here. She's taking, facts and factoids we've heard from the case and using it to weave together some horrible story, which again would be fine if we were talking about a fictional show, a fictional character. Let's say if she were a fan of Succession, then it would be perfectly fine to create some story, some Wattpad or whatever fan fiction based around Succession and what the characters would go on and do after the show's ended, because those aren't real people, those are characters. But this crime is real. I mean, they're real victims with real family members. It's a real court case coming up, people who love them. So it's just not right to say, oh, some spirit told me this is what's going on. I don't even think it's for clout. Maybe clout on TikTok is a part of it. Ashley claims she's not making any money on TikTok. Maybe it's some sick way of getting attention, and once Ashley gets in trouble, she's just digging her heels in more. Anyway, she continued. Ashley wrote, Rebecca Schofield feared that the attention Kaylee Gonzalez got would cause their inappropriate relationship to be exposed. She feared she would lose the prominence she earned, the career that she built, and the future she was creating. That here, H-E-A-R, led her to have Kaylee Gonzalez killed. Mind you, the way Ashley found this woman to just accuse of all these heinous things was allegedly because she heard something in her mind about professor, or someone left her a crazy comment on TikTok who was a professor. And then some spirit told her history, so she looked up history professors and found Rebecca Schofield. That in no way is any kind of evidence. It's not like Ashley had anything to go on. You talk about wild speculation. I mean, this is beyond. It's not like Ashley got proof of Rebecca on a security cam anywhere near the 1122 King Road house, or discovered text messages ordering a hit, or nothing in these 61 pages or anywhere else I've ever seen Ashley offer anything concrete, even though Ashley says she called it into the tip line. All of this mess wasting time of law enforcement based on nothing.
People keep asking, where did Rebecca Schofield come from? Like, how did I get her name? No, I do not just get random names. I typically don't get random names in my readings. The Spirit said there was a teacher involved in the murders when I was doing the reading. And by spirit, I mean my inner spirit. My inner spirit that's not bound by the body. Therefore, even though my body was not there, my spirit can tap into information that my body could not have. So the reading I did alluded to a teacher. And it was ironic to me because it was the same card that was used when I was doing a reading on a Tiffany Valiante commenter. A teacher commented and was talking crazy, and I was like, who is this person and why is she commenting? And it alluded, that same card came out, so I'm like, let me clarify this. So then when I clarified it, history came out, and one of the cards just kept saying history, 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 history. So I looked up the University of Idaho History Department, and Rebecca Schofield was on there. She's the first on the page. So I did readings on each one of them.
Ashley continued, Rebecca Schofield desired to be with a woman but never explored that desire for fear of ridicule. Rebecca Schofield convinced Kaylee Goncalves to experiment by being in a secret same-sex relationship with her. Now, where did she get that from? Is that something in Ashley's own mind? Was Ashley thinking Christians would actually be like appalled or shocked by her assertions? None of it is making sense. Rebecca Schofield, said Ashley, documented the same-sex relationship experience in her book previously titled The Experience. Her previous publications were about other people's experience with being gay. The Experience was about her own. I don't see anything titled The Experience written by Rebecca Schofield, although Rebecca Schofield's website does have a long list of publications. And Ashley must have used this somehow as fodder, as a writing prompt, to claim that The Experience lasted for at least a year. Kaylee Goncalves grew to have deep feelings for Rebecca Schofield. During the relationship, Rebecca Schofield promised Kaylee Goncalves that at the end of the experiment, she would garner the courage to live her life openly as a lesbian and leave her husband. That makes no sense. Her writing makes no sense. That's why I'm barely reading all of it. Ashley's claiming Kaylee grew to have deep feelings for Rebecca. And during the relationship, Rebecca promised Kaylee that at the end of the experiment, she would garner the courage to live her life openly as a lesbian and leave her husband. So she's claiming that Rebecca was going to leave her husband for Kaylee, but she never took that courageous step, choosing to break up and remain married instead. In this fan fiction, Rebecca stays married and breaks up with Kaylee. The relationship took a turn for the worse when Kaylee was about to graduate college and move to Texas. She was no longer convinced to be in a secret love affair with married woman Rebecca. She threatened to expose their love affair to Rebecca Schofield's husband. But wait, I thought they were already broken up. She's already lost the plot line here. This is actually in court documents, federal court documents. Ashley continues, after they broke up, Rebecca began to stalk Kaylee in person and on social media to keep an eye on her and make sure her secret affair remained a secret. Kaylee's social media content alarmed Rebecca. She began to have anxiety and paranoia about being outed by Kaylee or her friends. So no, Rebecca did have anxiety she talked about only after this wacky TikToker began publishing Rebecca's name, and some insane people actually started believing Ashley, like, oh, wait a minute, Rebecca's involved? Of course, that gave Rebecca anxiety. She wouldn't know if some person would try and avenge the Idaho 4 by believing Ashley and coming after Rebecca. Ashley's claiming that in the end, Rebecca decided that killing Kaylee would silence her for good. And not only that, Ashley's claiming during this whole planning phase of the crime, Rebecca watched Kaylee in person and on social media. She decided Kaylee and her close friends were a threat to her livelihood and her secrets being exposed. So she added Madison Mogen and the students that Kaylee frequented with to the list of those to kill, and supposedly hired help to execute the crime. It goes on and on and on. If you want to watch a great YouTuber read through all 61 pages for more than 3.5 hours like I did today, you can visit the YouTuber named Pegleg Finance. He's a lawyer and he goes through the whole thing. My advice to Ashley is just stop now, especially for her son. I know she's put in a change of address. Of course, I'm not going to say where she lives or where anyone lives, but she is back on TikTok defending herself, digging in her heels, and she can stop now and she might be able to save herself and hopefully her son. I know she at least has one son, and my heart is for any children involved here. Whatever, if there's mental issues, if there's stubbornness, if there's something going on here beyond the surface, quit while you're behind. That's my advice. When I was a younger woman, I lived in California for a period of time. I was trying my hand at screenwriting. I have always wanted to see a modern day version of one of my favorite movies, Sunset Boulevard. Sunset Boulevard with William Holden and Gloria Swanson. It's a classic. I thought, oh my goodness, you know, back then I thought, imagine if Jennifer Love Hewitt starred as the young actress, and I don't know who could play William Holden's character. I wanted Susan Sarandon to play Gloria Swanson's famous role. I'm ready for my close-up. Anyway, so I wrote what I thought was a fair use, spiffed up modern day version of Sunset Boulevard called Coldwater Canyon. Coldwater Canyon. So it would have been, you know, modern day, switching it up. I thought it was good. I started shopping the script around town, around California, around Hollywood, LA, whatever. Got a nibble here and there, but it never materialized until one day I got a letter, cease and desist, from Sir Andrew Lloyd Webber's people. I guess Sir Andrew Lloyd Webber still owns the rights to Sunset Boulevard. I know he's done productions of it or plays of it, but I wanted to see it on the big screen, and I thought, oh, I switched it up enough. Obviously not. He still holds the copyright. Guess what? As soon as I got that cease and desist letter, I stopped shopping that script. I wish Ashley, as soon as she received her cease and desist letter from Rebecca Schofield, it could have stopped there instead of doubling down and making all these other videos. And now moving forward to something that might actually go to trial. What if there's a huge judgment awarded to Rebecca, which she would deserve? I think about the consequences of Ashley and especially her child. You don't want to follow the school of YouTuber Tasha K. If you haven't seen how that case is going. So Cardi B, famous, love Cardi B, she was the victim of this YouTuber Tasha K, who started saying all kinds of heinous things about her. You know, just horrible things no one would want said about them. It caused Cardi B a lot of distress. Cardi B's lawyers tried to get Tasha to stop, just take the videos down, which could have been done so easily, sent a cease and desist letter, and Tasha K's like, oh, I'll wipe my butt with them, blah, 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 who cares? Took it all the way to court, popular trial, Cardi B won. She won a judgment against Tasha K, and now Tasha K has recently filed for bankruptcy. She had to move out of her big home, and who knows where that'll go. All from digging in her heels and just not admitting defeat, especially when you're wrong. It's one thing where you're like, oh, I'm not sure, I'm not clear on the law, or okay, well, when you see, oh, I'm really in the wrong here, that's when it's time to stop. And I don't understand Ashley's whole vibe of, you know, calling herself God in the flesh and hearing from this, and all I know is this is not of God to accuse an innocent woman who had nothing to do with anything of a horrible, heinous crime. And when you're called out about it, when you're sued over it, not only is Ashley not apologizing, she's digging in her heels, and I don't know what she's hoping the outcome will be. I don't know if people understand the seriousness of being sued and losing and having, you know, wages attached, and how that can really affect not only Ashley's livelihood, but I keep thinking of any children involved. You really don't want the children to suffer.
So I've been seeing these articles and these videos, people saying, oh, she gotta be crazy. First off, disclaimer, I'm in a house This is my hair. I love my natural hair. That's why I'm on video with it, but I'm not gonna do my hair right now. Anyway, people are calling me all kinds of crazy because they don't understand spiritual abilities and spiritual gifts. And so when I'm seeing the comments calling me insane, crazy, blah, 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 or I'm seeing the comments saying that I'm looking for a cloud or all type of negative energy in articles, and it's from people who claim to be intellectuals. These are lawyers and things of that sort. It just shows me how slow y'all are. And these are people who are highly programmed. Blame your programmer. Don't call me crazy. Blame your programmer for only teaching you left brain masculine dominant things and not the right brain intricacies. I'm not crazy. You're slow. Right brain abilities exist. I'm not crazy. You're stupid. Part 2. Also, when I'm reading the comments of people just assuming that I'm crazy, it makes me realize how brilliant I am. I'm so brilliant that you cannot fathom my existence. You would think that I just invented, I'm the first psychic to exist. I'm the greatest to exist. Maybe that's the issue. You're used to psychics telling you about your love and relationship life and things of that sort. You're not used to psychics using their abilities to make a difference on things that are very important. Psychics or psychic intuitive energies and intuition is not just used to tell you whether or not you're in a good relationship or a bad one. It can be used to solve murders. It can be used to piece together missing information that could help investigators solve cases. I'm not the first. I'm not crazy. You're stupid. Part 3. And to all these people saying, I do what I do, or I did these tarot readings regarding the murders because I'm looking for clout, or I did it for clout, or I made it up for clout. You gotta be the biggest idiot of them all. Or maybe you're just ego-filled because you're giving yourself too much credit. I couldn't give a less about clout. What is clout? Does it pay me? Because I posted those videos, my account isn't monetized. I didn't get any money from it. What the fuck is clout? Does clout pay you? When you have the ability to manifest, and I know how to manifest, you don't need to do things for clout. Manifestation for me is easy. I am whole, a vessel of God on earth, so I have spiritual support. I know how to manifest, so therefore I don't have to lie for clout. Clout, I own clout. I'm not crazy. You're stupid. Part 4. Y'all need to learn the difference between doing something for clout and manifesting, creating a wave, being in the zone. My videos went viral because I was in the zone. When you're in the zone, you become a part of the energy that you're creating. So I'm posting the videos and I'm in it. My presence is a part of what I'm doing. My spirit is a part of what I'm doing, or what I was doing at the time. Therefore, the energy flowed to me because it was authentic energy. You can't lie and create that energy. So I don't have to do or lie to create energy or support. You manifest energy by creating it. So when you've seen 100 videos, 150 videos, me going live, me doing all those readings, I lived in the energy and the energy flowed back to me. That's how you manifest. Repetition, authenticity. I'm not crazy, you're stupid. Part 5. Now, I'm not calling everybody stupid. I do realize that many people have not been programmed with the knowledge of right brain activities and the value that it can add to the world. In fact, you've been so programmed with left brain activities because you can be controlled that way. The left brain is programmed through your environment and what you're taught in that environment. The right brain knowledge is innate. You've been taught, and many people have been taught to ignore that innate spirit inside of them and their innate abilities and their natural abilities, but to honor left brain programmed abilities. So I get it. Some people just don't know. But if you're on my comments that calling me stupid or wishing hell on me, then that's who I'm talking to. You're the one I'm calling stupid, and I stand on that. He who knows not and knows not that he knows not is a fool. Shun him. I'm not crazy. You're stupid. Part 6. So there are a lot of people that know me personally who was bothered by the negative energy and negative comments. First of all, I haven't seen all of them because I don't have the time to do so right now. Well, I haven't made the time. Let's just say that. And I've had bigger platforms defame me, and I didn't even watch it. I didn't watch Good Morning America. I didn't watch Inside Edition. I didn't watch Law and Crime. I didn't watch that stuff. So you've probably seen it more than I have. So, but what I'm going to say is, I'm a genius. What do I look like arguing with a random loser on the internet about my genius? A genius doesn't argue with a fool. I know that people that know me have been clapping back, but it's not necessary to argue with the fool. I'm not crazy, you're stupid, part 7. I love and appreciate people who are themselves and gods in their own realms and don't give a what y'all think. Do you think you can become somebody big, a god on earth, in your realm, in your sphere of influence? If you are worried about random losers on the internet, you have to be yourself unapologetically. I am myself unapologetically. And the only reason I haven't been posting is because I've been extremely overwhelmed, and I allow myself to be overwhelmed by other things that are occurring in my life. Additionally, I didn't want it to be like I was being insensitive to the court proceedings, because this is a legal proceeding. However, I'm gonna be me regardless. Y'all not stopping shit over here. What Beyonce say? These motherfuckers ain't stopping me. I'm not crazy, you're stupid, part 8. This is gonna sound blunt, but I don't care, because it's what I want to say. I do not give a f what comes from these proceedings. I do not give a f what you think about me. I don't give a f about none of this. What I give a f is my purpose, doing me. I'm going to do me every single day of my life. I'm not going to ever stop doing me. I don't give a f what nobody got to say about it. That is not nothing that can happen on this earth, or not one person on this earth that can stop me from being me. I am a vessel of God on earth, and it's nothing you can do about that. I'm a genius in the spiritual realm, in the spiritual arts, in the spiritual abilities. My spiritual acuity, can't nobody touch it. You cannot do nothing to stop that. I don't foul whatever you want to foul. Nothing is going to stop me. I'm not crazy, you're stupid, part 9. I am a world shifter, perspective shifter, consciousness shifter, a world changer. What the f do I look like letting an imbecile stop me from being me? I'm not crazy, you're stupid, part 10. Look at all the things that they've done to stop me, but none of it is gonna work, none of it has worked, and it's all gonna come back around to those who did it and those who helped them and bite them in the ass. I'm not crazy, you're stupid, part 11. This is not the first time in history that a world shifter, a world changer, an intellectual, a genius, a god on earth have been persecuted, and legal documents have been filed against them. Look up the crucifixion of Christ. Look up the trial of Socrates. Did Jesus stop? Did Socrates stop? No, and neither am I. In the trial of Socrates, his accuser lied because his accuser didn't like what he was doing. And they handpicked the jurors like they're trying to do me in Schofield versus Gillard. In Schofield versus Gillard, the accuser lied, conjured up a claim of action against me. Just like Socrates didn't stop, just like Jesus didn't stop, I'm a genius, a god on earth, and I'm not going to stop. I don't care if you think I'm egotistical or crazy. You can kiss my ass. I'm not crazy, you're stupid, part 12. So random are commenting on one of my videos and saying, I need to stop, this is embarrassing. What's embarrassing is your mere existence. I would rather be me every day being persecuted than to wake up and be you. Being you is what's embarrassing. Letting a liar trick you into a false reality is embarrassing. Believing a murderous liar over God is embarrassing. Not knowing the truth from a lie, real from fake, spiritual versus physical, reality versus fantasy, that's embarrassing. Being a random on the internet commented on a God genius's post about they should be embarrassing is embarrassing. Your literal existence is the epitome of embarrassing. I could never.
So that's my plea, is I pray somewhere Ashley can humble herself before the Lord, the true and living God, and just realize, okay, I've taken this too far, and she can still make money online by being creative and doing creative things, just not lying and defaming people. That's the hope. That's the prayer. 1 Thessalonians 4:16 through 17. For the Lord himself will come down from heaven with a loud command, with the voice of the archangel, and with the trumpet call of God, and the dead in Christ will rise first. After that, we who are still alive and are left will be caught up together with them in the clouds to meet the Lord in the air, and so we will be with the Lord forever. So that's where I'm praying all these victims are and aren't bothered by our earthly squabbles, but will still find justice if Bryan Kohberger is truly the culprit and found guilty. A name that you don't really see mentioned by Ashley at all, which is further strangeness. But let's hope for a positive outcome here in this case, especially for the children. Justice for Rebecca. Thanks for watching.